Welcome to Screen Junkies Universe. It is Tuesday, and I am surrounded by amazing human beings, so I feel very grateful today. I'm Roth Cornett. This is Sasha Perlraver.
Hi, guys. So happy to be here. So happy to be back.
I'm so happy to see you. She's sitting in the Andy chair. This is Mr. Joe Star.
Hi.
Hi, Sasha.
Hi, Joe Star.
Mr. Dan Merrill.
Hi.
You love the Emoji Movie.
I did not. I did not love the Emoji Movie. I did not, however, think it was the fall of Western civilization, as many critics. I think there was like a critic off going off. I think a lot of critics are like, I could write a worse review than that. And they really were going, I was watching that, I was like, wow, it's like.
Yeah, I think people are just mad and they saw the Emoji Movie and they were like, I'm going to put this here.
Yeah, there's a lot of reviews that were like, this is 2017 in a nutshell. I'm like, you're bringing a lot more to this movie than emojis, my friend.
This is the actual coming of the Antichrist. I like the idea of a critic off. I would be more angry than you.
Having said that, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. It was not good, though.
No.
Oh, my God. It was terrible.
We have an entire video about how it's not the worst, and there are worse things, and you guys can check that out on Screen Junkies News. But for now, we're going to get to a bunch of things today. We're going to talk about Steven Soderbergh sort of money-balling Hollywood, Deadpool 2 Domino images released. I have a game for these guys.
Ooh, fun.
But first, guys, I want to thank our amazing partner, T-Mobile, our sponsor T-Mobile, because they are, this week, it's very exciting, we have a bunch of shows that are coming live to YouTube. And that is thanks to T-Mobile. They just sponsored us, SJ Central. They did that in San Diego last year as well. So we're gonna be able to see movie fights live on Thursdays. TV Fights is right here on Screen Junkies News today.
And I'm going to be on this week.
Miss Sasha Perlraver kicking it off.
Mark Andreyko and Roger Barr. It's going to get
Oh my God, that's really.
It's going to get real.
So rowdy. So rowdy.
We have Watching Thrones every Monday right here on SJ News. We have Honest Trailer commentaries as well. Like, all of this is available. Flickbait is on.
Flickbait.
And all of this is available. Thank you to T-Mobile. Sincerely, we are able to bring this for free to you guys, and we hope that you enjoy it. And with that, I will let you know that I take requests, friends. Like, I actually take requests on Twitter.
Like a DJ?
Like a DJ.
Oh, I thought you meant sponsorship requests.
It's like.
I'm 100% for sale. So I'm not.
You just look like a Daytona 500 car. Just like ads all over you.
I do not have. If you saw my, I'm going to bring in a picture of my car so that it's very clear that I have no Marvel money. Tim Butner at TimBut2, which is an amazing Twitter handle.
That's a really good.
Asked us to talk about Steven Soderbergh today. Dan, that's exciting.
That is exciting. He's back.
Yeah.
He's retired like 8 times. He's back again. He's back again.
Hey,
He's
Mr.
like a wrestler.
Soderbergh.
He's back at it. So don't call it a comeback, because he retired in 2013 after Side Effects. He said he was done with the movie industry, but then he did The Knick. So, like, was it really retirement?
And
it's
he also
retirement
did the
from
Girlfriend
movies.
Experience.
Yeah.
So basically he was retiring from movies, but not actually from TV. And then he came back with Logan Lucky, which comes out later on this summer, which has, what's the name of the writer supposedly? Rebecca somebody, like this undiscovered writer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, nobody knows. She doesn't exist, apparently.
She does exist. So apparently the writer is actually Jules Asner, who used to be a host, who is also Steven Soderbergh's wife.
Yes.
But they're trying to keep it on the DL because of nepotism, whatever. But I saw the movie. The movie is not very good. I'm in the minority here. Right now I think it's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I do not think it will hold there. It feels like Ocean's 14. Not in a good way.
So this is a heist movie, but so aside from the quality of the movie, like the thrust of this New York Times article that I do recommend that you go read, because it's actually pretty interesting, is about how he wants to redo the distribution model with studios.
This is not the movie to do
and
it with.
it's a little bit complicated, but his goal is, there's this whole idea that creators want control, right? Directors want 100% creative control. They don't have it because studios are putting a lot of the money behind these films. So he actually has gone with a slightly different model. It's similar to the Blumhouse model, but different. So Blumhouse gives scale to their talent, and then they give them points. If the movie does very well, they make a ton of money. So Soderbergh did that. Then he sold off the international distribution rights to help raise some money. Again, not super unusual for an independent film. Where it gets interesting is that he also wants control of the marketing budget. So if you take it to someone like Warner Brothers, they pay for the marketing, and then they also have the distribution rights. Okay. They also have control over the marketing, and they'll spend maybe $40 million on marketing on a movie like this. He wants them to spend less on the marketing, and he wants more control until they want to spend more so they get a bigger profit. So he's basically kicked around a ton of different ideas how to maintain total control. He went to a startup company to do the distribution. They get $1 million flat. He still gets control over the marketing, and if they reach a certain box office number, they will get some of the percentage of the ticket sales. Yeah. So the whole idea is, how can you, in the world that we're in, with the studio system that we're in, how can a creator 100% maintain control? Should they 100% maintain control? Justar looks like he has thoughts.
Well, I think this is interesting because, how your movie's sold impacts how it's going to do. In the article he mentions, I want a trailer that doesn't give away, my movie. I'm not worried about a focus grouped trailer. I want to sort of do this my own way. Something interesting, he actually, the person he reached out with and put this marketing strategy together with, after going to Warner Brothers, is one of Warner Brothers' former distribution executives. The guy knows what he's talking about. He's been around for a really long time. So I think it's interesting that he teamed with someone who sort of knows everything, understands really well everything that works about the current distribution model, but is able to fix it and sort of take what works and sort of bionic commando something new.
You're a big advocate for directors having full control. Does this seem, this is only possible for a tiny film.
I'm an advocate for creators not being micromanaged. I'm an advocate for creators being allowed to execute the vision that they want to, and not having people come in and say, oh, no, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. However, I'm not necessarily an advocate for 100% unchecked creative control in all cases. I think that can be dangerous. I think if you look at M. Night Shyamalan, for example, he reached a point where he had unchecked creative control over things like particularly Lady in the Water.
Unlimited power.
And I think that sometimes you do need someone, and I'm not saying it's a studio, but I think that you need to, particularly directors need to find producers that they trust, that can produce a movie and that can be that voice saying, okay, hang on, like, let's take a step back here. I think maybe you're not looking at the right side of this. I think maybe you should do this. So I think that's the difference. I don't think that there are very few directors that I think can be trusted to have unchecked creative control over everything with no checks and balances, because I think that's part of the creative process, having people to bounce off of it. But I don't think that studios should always be meddling and have an executive saying like, well, our demographic, we need to add this for the target market demographic. We need to pull this out, or this isn't going to play well. Like, that's where you get into trouble. So with Soderbergh, he's a guy who has generally had creative control over almost everything that he's done. A lot of it's great, some of it's not so great. That's being a filmmaker. It's experimenting, it's failing, it's succeeding. But I'm more of an advocate for not allowing studios to go in. Studios should hire directors and producers that they trust and let them go make their own movies.
Yeah.
So Sasha, you feel like maybe this is a good idea, wrong movie to launch it with?
I do. Also, there are directors who do have total creative control. Like David Fincher gets to, he has his hands in everything, including the marketing. Like, he oversees every single second of everything that's involved in his films. I think with this, Soderbergh is making it about creative control, and the truth is it's about money. I think he wants more money, he wants more back end. And, maybe that's his right. I'm sure he's doing just fine. He's not hurting financially.
Well, we have like Michael Bay money, who also, by the way, one of the directors with the most creative control is Michael Bay.
That turned out?
Exactly. That's my point. So like I feel like you can speak in broad terms and say like, you're right, Dan. Like, filmmaking is inherently a collaborative process. There is no one person, no matter who it is, even if it's Hitchcock and he had storyboards of the whole thing, there's still as much as he hated it, other humans involved,
And go ahead, Jeff. I think, to speak sort of to the business end of this, I think it is about money, which I think is kind of fine, because when you're the sort of old structure, the old guard structure is sort of crumbling in every aspect. All of our guilds keep going on strike because writers don't make the same they used to, because everything is changing and these old guards are so slow to catch up. They're ocean liners. So when you have Soderbergh come in and say, hey, why should I be beholden to a system this is not going to work? You're not going to market my movie correctly, but you still get a percentage of making it fail. That I can totally see why someone would kind of go, okay, let's find a new system. So I think it's sort of interesting that him and Dan Feldman are trying to sort of figure that out.
Yeah, I don't think this is all about money. I disagree. I think that money is a necessary, for a lot of creators, they regard money as a necessary evil in the step to making their art. And I think that Soderbergh, he's always been an iconoclast. He's always said, I'm going to change the way that we make movies. I'm going to change the way that collaboration is done. I'm going to go off, Magic Mike's. I'm just going to go do my thing, this crazy weird thing. Like, he's always been the guy that wants to go do his thing. And I think this is just a way of him, as we said, moneyballing it and saying like, let me try this system. If it works for me, great. If it doesn't work for me, okay, it doesn't. But if this works, now he's set a template for other filmmakers to try to do the same thing. And I think he opens the door and creates avenues for maybe some other filmmakers to go do their projects and not be beholden to these huge, massive distribution fees and everything else.
It's interesting, though, that you bring up Magic Mike, a movie that I love, because I feel like a Magic Mike with this distribution model would make a lot more sense.
A ton of money.
I mean, with this movie, you do have Channing Tatum, but that's pretty much the biggest name. Then you've got Adam Driver. Daniel Craig is in it, but Daniel Craig is doing this like whacked out thing that is not going to be what goes on the poster or the billboard or in the trailer to bring people into the theater. So I don't know that this has the right kind of heat to make, like, get out money, so that this could be a really dynamic model that people will be like, let's do that again, which is frustrating.
Yeah, so maybe if like a Baby Driver or something like that had been the movie that the story was around.
But imagine if this thing makes $30 million and still makes a hefty profit. In a way, if it does gross a little less, that kind of validates the system, because it's like, look, we didn't make Get Out money, and people still made a little bit on the back end.
I agree. I mean, I feel like, look, I'm with you, Dan. Like, I love Soderbergh because he tries. I don't love all of his movies.
Oh, no.
But
Some of them are spectacular failures.
but he's always out there doing something. He's aiming to do something interesting with the medium. He's doing something he believes in, whether it's just an experiment. Let's put a porn star in a movie. Let's put an MMA athlete in a movie. Let's just see what happens. I'm all for it, because right now we're in a model that's sort of like conveyor belt. We're getting a lot of the same thing, and it's done well because they know what they're doing. But we want more out of the art form. And so if this works and more filmmakers can attack creating different kinds of films instead of a model we have now where there's like $400 million films a year and then a lot of television and not a ton going on for film in between, that's pretty cool.
But who else do you think could do it besides Soderbergh?
Very few filmmakers.
Yeah, this is like, I think there's like
filmmakers.
5 or 10 filmmakers that would exist in this realm that could kind of do the same thing.
But maybe it opens up a renaissance for independent film again, which would be great, because we're about due for that. Favorite Soderbergh films? Let us know in the comments or in the chat. You guys love. I'm the limey and sex lies and videotape. Don't judge me.
Interesting.
I'm more interested in their favorite distribution models.
Favorite distribution models. Okay, we're getting back to the business at hand here at Screen Junkies, and we have a dumb game for you. Don't worry, we're done with movie broccoli for now. We're going to talk about Deadpool.
Broccoli's good for you kids.
It's good for you.
Very
nutritious.
Very important. Very.
I hope you enjoyed that movie.
But also, this
broccoli.
cupcake's going to be dope.
Yeah.
Now we are going to talk about Deadpool. New images of Domino were revealed yesterday, and then again today, another one was revealed. We're going to go to our senior Wikipedia correspondent, Mr. Joe Starr, for a little background on Domino. Do we have the images, JT?
So filling in for Spencer J. Gilbert, your usual Wikipedia correspondent, I believe. So this is our new Domino. This is Zazie Beetz, who's on Atlanta. She's great on it. People are upset. Because it's the internet and it's a comic book thing. But so Domino was created in '92 by Rob Liefeld and Fabian Nizia, who is one of the big, like, the X-Men to the '90s are what the Avengers are now in terms of bigness. So she was created in '92. She's basically she's a mercenary. She's usually Cable's girlfriend or second in command. So I'm assuming that's where they're going in Deadpool 2. She'll be with Cable and
those proportions.
Oh yeah, oh man, those good '90s X-Men proportions. Oh God, I love them. And so I'm assuming that's her role in this movie. Is it'll be her and Cable together and a lot of Deadpool going like, "How are you with this old man?" Or other really well-written quips. Thank you. That's from when we wrote the Deadpool Honest trailer, and all of us were trying to read it in his voice.
Ryan Reynolds' voice.
No, it's Janet Jackson. So she has she's a marksman. She's a great fighter. She has luck powers, kind of like a long shot, but without the mullet. And usually she's a lady in a jumpsuit, and her like skin is bleached white. I honestly I don't know if they've ever explained that. Whatever. It was the '90s, and someone went, it would be extreme if someone was just domino.
She looks
like a domino, but like a reverse domino. and I think people are upset because she doesn't look completely comic accurate, and which again, is. And honestly, look, she is a lady in a form-fitting jumpsuit that shows off her boobies, and that is with a diamond on her face, and like that's
should be so grateful.
that's the character.
No, but why are people upset? Like why?
It's
why?
reversed. Because it's inversed.
Some people are saying that there's a couple of tweets. She looks like someone deciding Deadpool should have his mouth shown shut. I'm not sure what that means.
Oh, Liam at Birth of Buzz, no sir.
Oh gosh, redacted
come on,
Twitter
man.
handle though. We don't want
Let's not blast these people too much.
No,
Jack
but
that.
like what? Like I don't understand.
For
one person said that just the look of the costume, they just weren't saying that it looked like Barf from Spaceballs. That just the look of the costume.
Because she has because of the white thing on her face. I get it.
Patch.
Look, I mean, if you're gonna pretend, if you're gonna pretend like Domino is your make or break, like way back, greatest of all time comic book character that's real close. She's not. She's not. She's had maybe 3 really great comic book stories in 30 years of publishing. So don't pretend that she's like the Joker who got totally ruined when
And we just got Deadpool. They just got Deadpool right.
Yeah, they just got Deadpool right.
And now we're already bitching about Deadpool. Like, can we not enjoy Deadpool for a second? Can we not enjoy it for a second?
Yeah.
You know who else? Heath Ledger looked nothing like the comic book Joker, and yes, everyone was bitching about that. Guess what? He was great. Like
Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman, people were upset about because he was too
They're
big.
like,
Too
Joker,
tall.
look like comic books. It doesn't matter what they look like. It matters what they are. And I hate that. Like, I've been guilty of this too. And I've jumped. It's like there's one picture being like, no, and it's like just give it a minute. To quote Louis C.K., can you give it a second? Just give it a second. Like, please. Like, it's insanity. It's one picture.
Dan Rant. Dan.
We got a Dan rant.
It's true though.
I love the Dan rants.
For me
You're speaking
personally,
for America, for the world,
for me
all of us, Dan.
personally, trademark Red Letter Media. I've never, other than like, there's a great comic called X-Force Sex and Violence about her and Wolverine. Someone puts a hit on her and they sort of go on this weird road trip to sort of figure out who it is and have the hit removed. That's a really good story. But otherwise, Domino's never really clicked with me. And then I saw this photo of her and I was like, oh, like this secret agent Pam Grier thing that they've sort of done with her, like kind of clicked with me. I was like, okay, I get it. I'm into it. So yeah, I'm good.
I mean, I feel like there's often, we've talked about this so many times before, like there was a letter writing campaign against Michael Keaton for Batman when it was first announced. There was a huge, Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, exactly. And then even more recently, the image of Quicksilver, if you guys remember.
Yeah, from X-Men Phase 2, was like, I was like, oh, it looks like Kid Vid
it
from
looks
the
like
Burger
Kid
King.
Vid.
It's going to be terrible. That's what I was guilty of. And he was great.
He was great. In action, people loved it. And I feel like that's what we often find out. And for me, I don't know if you guys are watching Atlanta, but Joe said it and he's right. She is so good.
So good.
She is so good. She is gorgeous. This is going to be fun. I 100% trust the casting of these films. So like, let's
cool it.
Yeah.
Well,
And
the
if-
other thing
like,
is
have
people
fun.
are freaking out, but this is a throwback image to the first marketing image we got from Deadpool. So basically
Right.
what they're telling you with this image is you're gonna get the same thing, but maybe a little bit more interesting and better.
Yeah.
Like trust.
Yeah.
Like we're not screwing
think it
you
looks
over.
great.
We're giving you the thing you liked.
Yeah.
Don't freak out.
Yeah.
Believe
and
that
if
we
you're
will do
gonna
it
get
again.
real mad about Domino, you should be mad about Negasonic Teenage Warhead
Well,
in the
that's
first
the
one
other
because they
thing.
completely changed her power. But
Yeah.
it's like Negasonic's a character that had like 3 pages of, you know, it's like
They completely changed the look. They completely changed her power. They completely changed her backstory. But no one cared because no one really cared about Negasonic.
She got traded
Teenage
for
Warhead.
Yeah.
And Domino is a Negasonic that has just been around for like longer.
Yeah.
she's not like a top tier character. It's not like Magneto is dressed like the Noid.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
think
like sewing Deadpool's mouth shut. How? How is it? Explain to me how that's like sewing Deadpool's mouth shut. Because she has a different eye.
Her hair looks different.
Like
what?
sewing Deadpool's mouth shut is like, here's the thing that's great about the character, and we're gonna do the opposite of that thing. Like, what is it about Domino that's opposite of her character that's making you so angry?
Yeah.
I think you just said it, dude.
Dan wants to know why we can't have nice things. things.
I want to know why we can't have nice things, or at least speculate about perhaps having nice things before we say they're terrible things and throw them against the wall and break them.
They are cool things.
And we've all, you're right. Like the other thing too is I think because everyone loved Deadpool so much, is there an instinct, do you think, to then get the knives out? Like, well, we can't love it that much.
Exactly. I think people have
that
had their heart
ridiculous
broken so many
background.
times they can't hope for good things from comic book movies anymore. And we're in a renaissance. Come on, let's.
I think
do
I think
it.
we just
I
don't.
lived through the early 2000s. Some of these people griping about Domino weren't there, man. You weren't there, man.
I was watching Daredevil playground scenes where you were still smearing poop on your own face and out of your own diaper, kid.
I saw The Last Stand at theaters on opening weekend.
Oh, the pages.
Damn it! You know what else? We can't have long things. So
Oh, sorry.
We've talked
running
about
long.
attention spans here previously with Andy and the fidget spinners. As early as last week, he said he was looking at something and he lost interest in 6 seconds. And he literally said that. And I remember this because Fox is releasing a 6-second commercial during the Teen's Choice Awards. So that's where we're at, people. We're at 6-second commercials for things.
Great.
They believe that this is going to be an effective amount of time.
7 seconds, you're so bored.
To make an impact on their product. This is Mars Wrigley confectionery media director Ray Armand says that young viewers demand shorter ad lengths. And we can see the Teen Choice Awards as a great way to showcase Snickers and Twix brand stories in shorter pods. So I challenge you, panel. With this array of products that Billy has collected, I have no idea what they were. Pick a product and sell it in 6 short seconds.
This
Let's find out how effective
A
this
used
is.
candle.
Dan, pick your
right.
poison.
Take this.
There's headphones in this. Billy described everything from here to the next
Oh,
room.
Gorilla Glue.
This smells delicious.
All right.
Okay.
All right, who's up first?
Joestar for sure is
Mr.
up first.
Joestar.
Who's timing these?
The improv.
Yeah, we need a timer.
We need a timer. I'll just count it out. And go.
CVS brand vitamin E. It's the 5th vitamin for the price of the 3rd one.
8 seconds. So close.
Wait, you were going like this. You
Yeah,
gotta
those
go
are
1
fast
1,000,
seconds.
2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. Come on, girl.
All right, just for that. For
Okay,
the
fine.
critique, you have to sell that candle. in 6
Fantastic.
seconds.
Ready?
Ready? Go.
When you can't eat apple pie, smell apple pie, delicious, and will bring the sex.
Nice. That was under
right,
6
that's
seconds,
good.
but it was by Sasha Seconds. Mr. Jan Murrow.
Ready?
Yes.
You need to stick some stuff together. This stuff will stick your stuff together better than any other stuff. It's Gorilla Glue. Buy it.
Yes. Nailed it. All right, and I have this hand sanitizer.
Oh, good.
If you do not buy this hand sanitizer, I will literally kill you and your family. Now you're paying attention.
Wow,
That's
6
how you
seconds,
sell it.
exactly
That's how you
6
sell a
seconds.
I feel like
product.
that also, it could be a tie-in for the Steven Soderbergh movie Contagion.
Exactly.
We also
know why
all
it
just
feels
looked
like
like Wayne and his crew counting down for his show. Just like, guys, we can see your mouth moving.
We want to know what you guys think about the new distribution model. Do you want more movie broccoli out of us? What's up with Domino? Do you like the look of Domino? Are you excited about Deadpool 2? Why can't we have nice things? And what products do you want to see sold in 6 seconds or less? Thanks for joining us today. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me at Sasha Pearl Raver on Twitter and Instagram. I will be on TV Fights later on today and hosting FX Movie Download every Friday at 8 o'clock.
Thank you so much. I love this woman.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Dan Merrill.
You can find me on Twitter at MerleDan and here on Screen Junkies News and over on Screen Junkies original channel and everywhere in between.
All of the things. And we're going to do more charting with Dan.
And huddled over my computer making charting.
Charting with Dan and ranting with Dan. Mr. Joestar, thank you so much.
At Joestar187 and JoestarClub.club. It's a real place.
All right.
I didn't even know that was a
Just
thing. What is
club.club.
that?
Oh, yeah, it's a great website.
6 seconds of context.
Oh, it's my website.
Very well. Well done in 6 seconds. I am at Roth Cornett on Twitter, and I want to thank T-Mobile legitimately again for allowing us to bring what was behind a wall in front of a wall.
We took the wall.
Away. There's no wall.
T-Mobile,
We can
tear
go
down
out
that
now.
wall.
We could just do the outro thing.
You want to just keep doing wall
ending
puns?
it?